Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure colleagues will want to join me across the House in wishing a very happy Lancashire Day to Lancastrians everywhere, and perhaps most especially to the only Lancastrian Speaker of the 158 to have held that office. Although it will still be 3 more before that number reaches the number of Herefordians who have held that office, Mr. Speaker. Let me also wish a very happy Thanksgiving today to all our American friends, hosts and families. Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the House, no one will need reminding, is a thoroughly good and sensible man. And we like to keep things, as he says, careful, we like to keep things orderly in business questions. But I cannot imagine what he can possibly have made of the past few weeks. We've had an entirely unnecessary period of prolonged economic uncertainty, endless media pitch-rolling and U-turns, a relentlessly dismissive attitude to this House from ministers, repeated breaches of the ministerial code, and even the fiasco of a convenient OBR leak on the budget morning itself. Yesterday, the House should be in no doubt. We saw the government increase taxes to the highest levels since at least 1970, according to the OBR. Between last year and this, the government have raised something like £100 billion in additional tax revenue, much of which will fall on working people. And they have done so not through any coherent tax policy or vision for the UK economy, but through an array of back-of-a-fag packet tricks and wheezes whose inevitable effect will be to make it even harder for businesses to expand and people to get jobs. As Paul Johnson, lately of the IFS, said, big tax rises, but no effort at reform. Tax rises mainly to finance extra spending, not because of worse forecasts. Mr. Speaker, this government claims to speak for working people, for skills, for employment and for growth. All of those things it chose to undermine at yesterday's budget. These were their choices, and even now, the government have failed to please their union paymasters. In the words of Sharon Graham, General Secretary of Unite, the decision to freeze income tax thresholds will result in 10 million workers paying the higher rate of income tax. Stealth tax on workers means everyday people pay the price again. What is the point of this government? What is it for? No one can say, Mr. Speaker, however you vote, whatever your politics, this Chancellor and this Prime Minister came to power last year with no idea and no plan. And even by that standard, they have been a colossal disappointment. But that's not all, Mr. Speaker. As we've just noted in the urgent question, this week has also seen a leak that the Justice Secretary intends to abolish jury trial for all but the most serious cases. We had the embarrassing sight of the Junior Minister for Justice, a woman who transparently believes in the importance of jury trial, defending this preposterous proposal. I should say that the Justice Secretary himself was the same man who said in 2020 that jury trials are fundamental to our democracy. Blackstone, no less, called them the glory of the English law, and they are to be abolished by a Justice Secretary and a Junior Justice Secretary, both of whom went to Harvard Law School, and a Prime Minister who spent nearly 4 decades at the bar. The Bar Council has made clear that jury trials are not the cause of any case backlog, destroying the government's attempted justification for the policy. And the Criminal Bar Association has strongly criticised the proposal, as has the legendary Baroness Kennedy of the Shores, and many others will doubtless do the same in the coming days. Again, it is inconceivable to me that the Leader of this House supports this decision. I hope at the very least he will allow time for a backbench debate soon on this topic. But I will say this, Mr. Speaker, both the budget and the government's proposal to abolish jury trial have something fundamental in common. The Chancellor seemed unaware yesterday that in asking people to, as she put it, make a contribution to the budget, she is not inviting them to engage in some voluntary process. She is in fact using the full force of the coercive power of the state to take away their freely owned property in taxes. The removal of jury trial would do the same thing to the involvement of citizens in this country in the exercise of the criminal law, that other supreme coercive power of the state. Whatever the rhetoric, Whatever the smoke and mirrors, both these actions demonstrate that this government actually holds the ordinary men and women of this country in profound contempt. Mr. Speaker, no one should be surprised if those actions and this government are now treated by those people with similar contempt.
Hear, hear.